Welcome to this jewelry making adventure where we'll dive into the enchanting world of elven-inspired designs. Today we will be setting 3 exquisite stones into a captivating piece that channels the elegance and mystique of elven craftsmanship. Whether you're a seasoned jewelry maker or a curious beginner, this tutorial will guide you through the steps to create a magical piece that embodies the ethereal beauty of the elven world. So we'll start by selecting our stones. I have 2 labradorite and 1 pendant. This is for a different piece. We'll put it up here, and then this is also for a different piece. So I'll just put it up here too. So you're going to need about 16 inches of copper wire. I'm using square, dead soft. Dead soft just means that it's been annealed to where it's a bit softer when I bend it. And then you'll need some 24 gauge half round copper wire. Half round copper wire just means that it's flat on one side and then half round on the other side, just like it sounds. So this one is the half round side, and then if you flip it over, it has like a flat mirror sheen. That's the half part or the flat part. It's just the back. It's the back. I'm sorry if I struggle sometimes for words. It's like some of this stuff doesn't even have the terminology. It doesn't have names. So we invent that as we come up with these different techniques and stuff, or as we learn. So this is a 30 gauge round wire. You can use 28 gauge or just whatever gauge you like. I prefer the 30 gauge because it's just like right in the middle. The thicker wire is hard to bend, like around the base wires, and then the thinner wire, it breaks as I'm weaving sometimes, which is like 31 gauge and stuff like that. But it's really good for making small, tiny, intricate designs and patterns. You're going to need some bail making pliers and tweezer nose pliers. Nylon jaw pliers. And some flush cutters. So I'm just going to find the center of the wire, and then I'll be bending it around this shape. I want it to be just a little bit bigger than the shape itself. Because the frame wires have to go through it, so what most people will do is they lay the gemstone down and then they'll bend the wire around it. But I'm working with fairly small gemstones. They're not like 20-30 millimeters wide. This gemstone is 6 millimeters by 8 millimeters. So I'm just going to begin that bend around the bottom like that. So I'm going to flip it around and just keep bending. It's okay if it looks a bit bigger than the stone. Can you move this curtain? It won't let the wire move. Okay, let me grab my Sharpie. So I'm going to go, instead of centering, putting the pliers directly on the center, I have to move the pliers to the right because I'm going to make this bottom bend first. Okay, now this is not perfect in shape, you know, but it's got the right idea, right? Okay, so now I have a base frame that's just a little bit bigger than my gemstone. Now I'm going to keep moving on up the piece here. So I'm just going to bend these two wires out and continue with the next stone.
Hang on, doggy.
Oh my goodness. Again, I'm just going to hold it. So I've got the stone and the wire both in my fingers at the same time, and I've got a pretty firm grip on it. And I'm just going to bring them up and around. You have to be careful with this technique because you can, sometimes this right here won't get all the way tied up on the stone there. So you have to double check and make sure that it's going to go around. Again, this does need to be just a little bit bigger than our stone, but it does that anyways. It'll be bigger than the stone anyways. Because I have to, it's going to keep bouncing back like a spring, like until I work the wire and work hard on it into place. So now I have the general shape of the stone. So I need to work on bending this spot right here. I'm just going to take and work it around there until I have the right, until I'm happy with the shape of it. And so I'm just bringing it back here so I can eyeball it. So I'm just going to get it back into its place there. And then I'll try to center it the best I can and then bring that wire up. And then I'll do the same to the other side. Okay. Now I'll just adjust them. Yeah, that looks about right. So I just need about a foot of 30 gauge round weaving wire. So I just want to brace these into place here. So I'm going to go around this wire, this first wire, 1, 2, 3 times. And now this is just going to be an anchor wire. That way I can bend the top one into place because it's a small cabochon. It doesn't have to be like anything fancy. It just needs to be enough to hold this into place. And then we need enough space to bend it open to open it up. So I'm going to stop right here and trim this wire. I'll just trim it down here because I'm going to take it off anyways. Well, that's fine because I still have this little tail end here. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just bend this out on both sides. And I'll use the same technique that I used earlier. And then I'll do the same on this side. I'm gonna check it real quick.
Yeah? What are you doing with the onyx?
So this piece is handmade, and handmade is never 100% perfect. So I'm not gonna worry about it being perfect, and I'm just gonna make it. if you let perfection run you, it will. I mean, perfecting things is good, yes. By all means, perfect things, but there is such thing as trying to be too perfect. So try not to worry about it too much. So as we get closer to the end here of this piece, it's going to get a bit harder. It'll get a bit harder to to the end. It's called work hardening. And it's supposed to do that. So I'm just going to take my wire straightener and try and straighten this out. The temperature's dropping over here in this corner. Weird. I'm just going to take this and bend it down. And I'll do the same for this side and try and make it as even as possible. So all I'm doing is taking this right here and I'll run it around to where it matches the bottom. Then I'm going to bring these wires out. GoPro, stop recording. Just gonna bend this down to meet the back of the frame. And do the same to the side. And then just run these through. Just make sure that it bends in the right spot right there.
Daddy, I'm thirsty.
Hang on. Alexander.
What, baby? What? Thought you said. Oh.
I've been waiting for Sunday.
Now I'm just going to set the stones. Skibbity gemstone. Skibbity jewelry. Skibbity jewelry making. Now with labradorite, I have to make sure that it's going to light up whenever it's on someone's chest. Because if it doesn't flash in one direction, it will in the other. So I'm just going to trim these two tail end pieces off and then just tuck them up under here. And make sure that everything's just fitting nice and snug. So this was going to be this KU ticket winner. It's a giveaway where we done tickets for slots, and she won. And so this was going to be for, this one is just labradorite, and it has those really gorgeous striations in there. There's lines, and then it's almost like an opal. That's one way you can tell if labradorite's real or not, is in how many different directions the striations go in. I could do a tutorial on this one. I never done a tutorial. It's an old design. So possibly in the future I'll do a tutorial on this design. But until then, this piece is going to be going to its new owner, and I hope it arrives in time for Christmas. Thank you guys for watching my tutorial. I really enjoyed making this piece with you guys, and thank you for bearing with me through going through all this spiritual stuff. And just life in general on my friends list. If you're on my friends list, you know, all my information is there. And then some of it is actually here. So we'll be doing a timeline soon. And I will see you guys in the next one.